Hello. So this is the big clean part 2, the fun bit, the polishing. So I have given my instrument a bath, I've dried it off. Key part about drying it off, you're saving it from staining and making more work for you now. Now we come to the polishing. So it's free of gunk, of bits and stuff and dirt and hair or anything like that. And now it's time to make it shine again. Why it's important to make it shine again? Well, it looks nice. And 2, when we shine our slides and our valves, it can actually help them operate a bit better. So for instance, myself, my second valve was awfully stuck. So I'm going to be able to give the casing of this a polish and it should free up again. Now, there's a couple of things to get ready before we start. It's easiest to do this in one go as well, because then it's clean and your instrument is all clean and you're not trying to not touch bits and pieces of it again. So yeah, just do this all in one go, ideally straight after the bath. Couple things. Microfiber cloth. I didn't have any of them, but clean old socks are my favorite because you can put them on your hand and really get into it. It's important to be big enough that you can have a clean side and a polished side. You'll see once we get into that how important that becomes. Second thing, you need a pair of latex or nitrile gloves or something like that, so you're not dirtying the thing with fingerprints straight after you've just cleaned all the fingerprints off of it. Next, Peak is our polish of choice. It comes in, it's blue writing, Peak, you might be able to see it there, unless it's backwards, I'm not sure, but find out when you watch the video. Yeah, it's just a brass and metal polish. It's very effective. Yeah, Woolies I think is a good place to find it, but look up Peak and it'll be there. Next thing which I don't have, next 2 things which I don't have are valve oil and slide grease. So let me go get some. Hello, valve oil, slide grease. If you don't have this, let us know. We can find some in the band room. There's plenty of it there. The 2 of them. Vaseline can sometimes do the trick, but slide grease, dedicated slide grease does the best. Valve oil definitely has to be valve oil. Any other like WD-40 or 3-in-1 stuff doesn't quite do the trick. This is very, it's not very viscous, it's very watery, and it does the trick. So, valve oil. So yeah, let's get polishing. So the key thing here is to kind of not clean stuff twice. So that's why we wear the gloves, and that's why I have everything organized the way I left it. If I turn the camera, we can see it's just as I had it upstairs. I've just transposed it onto here. So I'm going to start and I'm going to do one of my slides. I'll show you how to do it. So this is the slide for my 3rd valve. We open up our Peak, gloves are on. This is nice and dry. So you can be generous enough, but not too generous. So tip my Peak here. Sorry, turn towards the camera. But pea size, that'll do. And it'll last for a good while as well. So how we do this, kind of Peak on the end of your finger, literally rub it on. So if we see the camera there, can you tell I've never had to do this on camera before? So we give it a rub, just kind of rub it everywhere. Make sure it gets into all the bits and pieces, the slots, the nooks and crannies, all that kind of thing. You'll find that the cloth gets dirtied. You see there, it's gone black already. That's good, that means we're getting bits and pieces off. Sorry, I'll hold this up. So, that's all we do for now. So I'm going to finish this and come back to you after that. So I've cleaned this, or put Peak everywhere. Now we go to our clean side of our cloth and we buff it off. So this is what really makes it shine. It should be quite cloudy before you do this, and then after you've done this, it should start to shine again. But yeah, sorry. Just give a buffing is all this is. Be careful when you're holding these not to squeeze them that way, because then they won't go back in. All that kind of stuff. You can really buff every single part of this. If you can get in around the likes of in there, do. It's no sweat if you can't. Only you'll notice. But yeah, rubbing all the Peak off. Make sure there's no Peak left on it before it goes back into your instrument. Very important. But yeah, clean. Worth noting is to get in here as well. Might or might be able to kind of see that bit of green just up the top here. That's corrosion, or it's gunk and dirt that hasn't come off in the bath because it could just be there too long or any of that. Get a little bit of peak. If you can get a pipe cleaner, great. If it, your little finger might do the trick as well, just to give it a buff and a polish. I'll go back to my dirty side. It's over this side. So I'll grab it and I'll just literally, in the end here, I'm going to do this for the rest of my slides. Okay. Now onto the fun one, onto the valves. Take the valve to bits. So this is my first valve. Make sure you know what valve is what still. You take the pieces like this all apart. You might as well do all the bits of the valve together. So this is the top, this is the bottom, this is the part my finger touches. Don't need to do the spring. The spring is fine. Same again. Take your valve and put peak, sorry there was peak on this, and rub it everywhere. Just have a rough attack of everything. Leave the peak do its work. Again, focusing here on getting inside the bits and pieces of the valve. That just makes it sure that you're not blowing stuff into your instrument. This is where it's really important that you get all of the peak out of the valve in the buffing stage. So you see in there, that glob is a glob of peak that has to be gone when I'm done. Otherwise you're just blowing peak into your instrument. Again, really giving a lovely buff. You're not going to take much off here, but you're going to even it out. Valves go through what's called honing to make sure that each valve matches exactly with its casing at a very precise diameter. So that you're not removing material, you're just polishing. But this can be good to get gunk and all that bits out. So that's that valve roughed out, I suppose. And then we give it a buff with my clean side again, same as I did before. Yeah, really get into all the bits and pieces. Really do take all of the peak off of the valve. My little piece of felt came off. Just watch for stuff like that, bits that fall off the valve right like that. There's a few little bits and pieces in around here. This might be plastic in the bottom, there might be felt on top. Make sure they stay on. So I'm going to go do this for the rest of my valves. I'll see you when I get to my instrument. So that's my valves done. Now it's time for the instrument. This is where you'll really notice the polish happening. There's still a bit of water in this. Watch out for that. Give me 1 second. So my instrument is definitely empty and dry this time. How we go about polishing our instrument is the same way we go about polishing the rest of the bits and pieces associated with it. Peak, just a little bit on there. Again, not much. And you start rubbing it into the instrument like this. So you can see that there. Give it a rub. You'll see it go cloudy first. That's fine. Keep rubbing. And that means you're starting to, the grit is in the peak is starting to do its work. Keep kind of rubbing until you've got just a decent area done. Like for my instrument, I've gotten all this area here down to about there, here, and this area here, just in the one bit of peak. You'll start to see bits of black and stuff like that. Again, that's the peak doing its work. Once you're happy, you've gotten all the bits and gunk and stuff off, like that. We switch to our clean side. So again, you'll see that's after a bit of cleaning, that's really going black. That's good. So now we switch to our clean side and we buff it. You'll see straight away the shine coming off it. It'll be a crime to touch it. But that's why we wear gloves. So I'm not going to get my fingerprints on this once it's clean. This really does take a bit of elbow grease. Trust me, it's worth it. Now, you don't need to clean your instrument all the time. This big clean, like I said, the first part is really kind of a once a year occasion. So that's that bit done. I'm just going to move on down the bell. Try not to cover the same place twice. Kind of try to be methodical. If you're stuck like that, you can put the peak straight onto the instrument, but that only really works for the big sections like this. So I'm going to do the whole length here with that bit of peak. Generally try and leave it on the cloth. You definitely need to for the bitty work, as I call it. But again, peak on my dirty side, giving it a polish until I'm kind of happy that the bits of dirt and staining has been taken off. You're not going to take scratches off with this. If anything, you might actually highlight some scratches. That's just the way it is. But your instrument should have a shiny kind of exterior look. Won't be cloudy, anything like that. If your instrument is older, this will take much more elbow grease. You can polish a cloudy instrument like some of the 1967 instruments back to becoming shiny again. They do take more work. So don't kill yourself if it's not that kind of look to that kind of look. Do you see the difference there? Like that's an unpolished side, it's cloudy, it's white, that's really reflective, that's polished. Don't kill yourself if it's not this shiny when you're done. Some of the older instruments just do take more. Maybe start off in small bits. Give it a rough polish. A couple of weeks later, come back, give it another polish. You'll chip away at the cloudiness. But again, this doesn't do, the exterior polish of the instrument doesn't do anything functional really. It just makes it look nicer. What is important is polishing the slides, the valves. That does tend to free things up a little bit. When you're done all this, piece your instrument back together again, as we did before, except this time, refer to the daily kind of cleanings, the minor cleaning routine, oiling your valves, greasing your slides a little bit. That's covered in the video you would have seen before this one. But yeah, make sure you do this first, then do that if you're doing the big clean. Keep doing your normal oiling the valves, cleaning the slides a little bit every now and then. But this big clean only need to happen once a year. Definitely a bath only once a year. You can polish it, the exterior, as much as you like. Once a year usually does it. If you notice things like your valves are getting stuck, your these are getting hard to unscrew, do let us know before you do this, or before it comes to doing this, because we can free it up while we're still around, while everyone's not on Christmas holidays, that kind of thing. And it can make this much more effective. So this instrument is completely stripped of everything. And then once this is clean, I'll put my valves or my slides that have been cleaned back into it. There's no point really doing it if you still have two valves in it. Let us know, we'll take them out, that kind of thing. But yeah, happy cleaning, and I'll see you in the next one.